All right, it's the Houston High School Huddle. That's my guy, Matt Stepp. I'm the Wizard. We're talking playoffs. It's finally arrived. I shouldn't say finally because it always comes up fast. But playoff fever, you guys got to come up with your reasons to miss work Thursday and Friday. I don't know. Start coughing now so that you can break out and travel. Like if your team didn't make the playoffs, Steph's going to tell you all the best games to go to. Sometimes you need to travel. You got to kick out or work early at 3 or 2 or something like that. Or don't even go.
This week there's a lot of games in the Houston area. So you're good to go. You can catch some good ones.
That is true. By the way, before we talk about that, anything surprise you from last week? Because something surprised me. My boys from Summer Creek, they played one bad half this whole year and dropped like a lark in the polls. I say dropped like a rock, but they only dropped a 5. But man, did they play 4 quarters last week?
That was as impressive a performance as I've seen this year for 4 quarters. Pitching a shutout against North Shore, unbelievable. You got to give Summer Creek and Coach Kenny Harrison a lot of credit for that performance. They played out of their minds on the defense. That we have not seen that kind of defense from Summer Creek all year, and if they play that kind of defense, I think we'll see them at AT&T Stadium. That was unbelievable. Now, if you're the North Shore fan, I think you're telling yourself, okay, this was just a letdown. We just came off that big win over CE King against our neighborhood rivals, and we didn't have anything to play for, and our kids weren't focused. We'll be all right come playoff time. We'll see if that happens, but it was very impressive for Summer Creek. I think the other thing that caught my attention was how about Klein backing into the playoffs? Yeah. They lose to Magnolia, and I think they feel like their season is over. And then I guess during the handshake line, someone told them that Tomball Memorial is beating Klein Oaks. So you see somebody sent us the video on Twitter of their team watching the stream on Texan Live. Shout out Texan Live of the game. And when Tomball Memorial closed it out, they had just lost and they were erupted cheering and turning flips because they got into the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. Klein was kind of a darling early in the year. They fell off, a lot of injuries and just losing a lot of close football games. And they're in the dance. Tough first round game, but they're in the dance.
I got a couple questions for you. Caleb Maryland in that North Shore offense. How do you feel about that? Because yes, when they're up and they're playing good, it's great. But when they're in a dogfight, I'm a little nervous about that. I'm nervous to how it all comes together when they're in an actual dogfight. I mean, obviously, Sock and Summer Creek play a different kind of defense there, but when they're in a dogfight, like the nip and tuck, I'm a little nervous there.
I am too, and it feels like Caleb Maryland sometimes just tries to do a little bit too much. And I think if he just calms down, things break down. I think he tries, at least in the Summer Creek game, it looked like he was trying to make things happen in the passing game. I think sometimes if he gets flushed, I think if he just takes off and runs, he'll be fine. He's really athletic and really fast. I think he's trying to get his teammates involved to be a good teammate and be a good quarterback and keep a play alive so his guys can get it. But sometimes you just got to take off and run. And maybe in the playoffs, that's what he'll do. But yeah, I'm a little concerned about North Shore's offense for sure. Is this the consistency? They had so many weapons last year, and this year they have a lot of weapons, but they're young. So they're going to have to find themselves pretty quick because when we bust out the brackets, there's some it gets real quick in 6A Division I, Region 3.
Absolutely. And I guess my final question is, and I want you to be a truth teller here, all right? I want you to give it to the people straight because I love how Dickinson, I love how Pearland's playing. Give me your serious step talk. Are they contenders to go to AT&T, or are they having a great season that'll fester out in the regional final? Is regional final their max? Because they have tough teams to go through in Division I, obviously. But they are a tough team. Where does they fester out?
Well, one of them's going to probably fester out in the second round of the playoffs because they have to play each other in the second round of the playoffs.
All right. Well, there you go there.
So, so I do think
that real quick.
I think whoever survives absolutely can get to AT&T Stadium. It's a tough path. 6A Division I, Region 3 is the toughest region in 6A Division I. And so, but if you can survive the region, you're a favorite to go to AT&T Stadium, in my opinion.
Okay. All right, well, let's talk about the regions. Let's talk about – and there's a little caveat here as we go into these brackets. Your boy and my boy, Professor Diggs, he loves to do AI stuff, so he asked to take on these brackets. So he named each bracket, but he's not too high on Houston. So you'll see in Division II, he named one of the Houston bracket regionals a certain team's name, and I'm like, I don't even know if they're making it out of the first round, but we'll see. All right, so let's take a look. Let's start in 6A. Obviously, 6A Division I Region 2, where if you look at the bottom half, that's what we're concentrating. The Woodlands and Aldine Davis. Actually, maybe try to explain to the viewers why that game's going to be at Thorne instead of the Woodlands. Is it?
Yeah, because the Woodlands and Aldine Davis, I believe Aldine Davis, because the tiebreaker in the district finished second in district, and the Woodlands finished third in district. So even though Aldine Davis is the second seed, it's because Aldine Nimitz is also Division I, and they were the first seed. So, but yeah, they're going to play Saturday night at Thorne. I'll be at that game.
It's the last one of the night, probably. Or the last one of the first round, probably.
There's one game that starts at 7 in the Metroplex, but I'll be at this game. Actually, it's the first time all year I've been denied press box access, Wizzy. I'll be on the field. I'll be on the sidelines for this game.
At Thorne? Why? Yeah. What'd you say bad about people at Thorne Stadium?
He said I didn't have enough room in the press box, so it's all right. It's fine.
They just re-upped that stadium, didn't they?
The press box was full, so what can you do? I'll be on the sidelines. I'll be sidelining it up for this one. That's all right.
This guy's not complaining either. I like this.
I'll be on the sidelines
until we get off here. Then he's gonna go crazy.
It was just fun. It was just funny. I've not got. I was like, dang, I got denied for the first time, but it happens.
Well, bring your Dick's chair with you and flap it down there and have a seat. Plug away.
Nah.
But like you said, there's only one other game, so it's not like you need to have your computer out looking at other games anyway.
I'll get to work in the hotel. I think Klein Collins and Bridgeland is a great first round matchup. Should be a lot of fun. I think the winner of that game will. I think the winner of Klein Collins Bridgeland will get to the third round and take on Duncanville. I think Klein Collins can give Duncanville a game, but I do think I agree with Diggs here. I think Duncanville is the team to watch out of the top part of this bracket.
I definitely worry about Bridgeland. Their last couple of games have been, just getting through.
Ranch took it to them a couple of weeks ago. So
yeah, and Cy Woods took it to them, but just didn't win. They lost by a point. All right, let's go into the other half of the bracket there. 6A Division II. We call this one the North Forney Regional. We don't. Somebody else does. But you look at the bottom half here, you got Grand Oaks back in the postseason against Aldine Nimitz.
First time in school history for Grand Oaks.
Okay.
First time in school history, yeah.
How about that? Is that a competitive game to you? I feel like it is.
I think it should be a good game. I'd actually favor Grand Oaks in that game, but I think Nimitz and Grand Oaks be a competitive game. I think if just because of what Klein does offensively, it's going to keep them in the game against Cy Ranch, but I think Cy Ranch is playing really good football right now.
You're not worried about them feeling good about themselves because they went through the whole district undefeated, and now you have a hungry Klein team in there?
Cy Ranch last year, if this was Blaylock's first year, maybe, but they snuck into the playoffs last year, got to the second round, so they're playoff tested. They know what it's like. I think Cy Ranch is going to be able to give North Forney or Waxahachie a game in the third round, but I think Waxahachie's the team that gets out. I don't trust North Forney's defense, and I don't know if Cy Ranch is explosive enough to hang with North Forney or Waxahachie.
Interesting.
So I think, Houston fans, I think we'll probably get an all DFW regional final here in Region 2.
Well, we'll find out about that. I don't trust. The funny thing is I haven't trusted the Wax deep offense that much because Jerry Meyer's been touch and go here his second year around.
And I don't trust North. I don't like teams in the playoffs who play a bunch of 55 to 54 games.
Yeah.
North Forney will play a 55-54 game on you.
They started a little bit. Hey, funny thing, I was supposed to have North Forney quarterback Legend Bay on last Saturday, and he said, "Is there a way I can push it till next Saturday?" And I was like, "I guess you going downtown?" No, I'm doing it for your benefit. I said, "I don't understand." And of course, now he's flipped schools, so I was going to ask him a bunch of questions about Tennessee, and that would have been outdated and stupid, and I would look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, buddy boy.
Good job, Legend.
All right, the Ridge Point district here, we call it regional. This is 6A Division I, Region 3. Cy Falls, Bel Air, all Houston teams. Cinco Ranch, Fulshire, Ridge Point, Dawson, North Shore, Deerpark. I really don't like trying to look ahead. I do it. We all do it. We all look ahead.
We do in the media. The coaches shouldn't do it. We do it.
Absolutely. I get coach talk all day long from Gaston and LaFavors, but my God, I'm looking forward to that Ridge Point North Shore game. Where would you play that game at if you had a choice? If you were one of the coaches, where would the middle point be?
Oh, middle point. I don't know if there's a good middle point. I mean,
Freedom or something?
Not free. I mean, I'd say I think you got to go inside the loop to really get a middle. I mean, if you could play it at NRG, play it at NRG. If once they have, Rice just announced they're redoing their stadium and doing a complete. They're gonna refurbish Rice Stadium. If that was done, I would say Rice Stadium would be perfect.
Interesting. Well, let's talk.
My guess is they'll play, one of the nicer stadiums, maybe something on, maybe in Cy-Fair or Pasadena, something like that. Pasadena's it's big. Pasadena seats like 15,000.
Okay. Now, if Cy Falls beats Bel Air, which they should, Cinco Ranch beats Full Shore, that's a good second-tier type game.
It is. Cinco Ranch is kind of a sneaky good team. Davis Roop at quarterback. They've been playing really good football. Cy Falls, super young but super talented. Fun second-round matchup. The Ridgepoint North Shore is going to be box office stuff. I'm taking Ridgepoint to get out here. I've been on the Ridgepoint bandwagon since preseason. We talked about them when we did our preseason shows. I've been on the Ridgepoint bandwagon, so I'm not jumping off now.
Yeah, one thing I like about LeFevers is he loves his Thursday playoff games. I don't think I can remember a year that he'd never first-round Thursday game to get that thing ready.
Doing it for you, Wizzy.
He is doing it for me. And he's at Hall right next door to one of my freelancers who loves it when I send him to Hall, so he goes crazy. Do you think Fulshire has anything for Cinco Ranch? Obviously, the offense have changed to a passing offense over there instead of the sweeps and stuff that Caduti had going on. But is there a spot for an upset here?
Possibly, but I think Cinco Ranch is playing good football right now. So I wouldn't be shocked if Fulshire won, but I think Cinco's the favorite.
All right, let's go to the surprisingly named Atascocita bracket, who may not even make it out of the first round, as that's our game of the week, Atascocita versus Dickinson. I can't have Dickinson and Pearland game of the week next week because I can't just keep favoring Dickinson. They'll think I'm the Dickinson TV station of choice.
Homer.
Exactly. What's going on there? This freaking Gator fan. He loves some Gators. Cy-Fair and Lamar in the past has been a great matchup in the first round. I still think it's going to be a good matchup.
Very evenly matched, yeah. It'd be a very competitive football game.
Who do you think takes that one?
Give me Lamar.
Give you Lamar. I will give you Lamar. That's at Del Mar, by the way.
Del Mar on Friday night, yeah. I think Atascocita Dickinson is the game of the week. I think Coach Stump at Atascocita has never lost to Dickinson. Undefeated.
Never lost. He's starting to sound like Mr. Ball there. Never lost.
And they have Card Mac. And when you can push the Card Mac button, good things happen. But I think Dickinson's got a little too much this year.
That Aguirre to Peterson connection was on point against Deer Park. That was awesome.
I am curious about Malachi Gamble's health at Dickinson. I know he's a little banged up and has been out for a while. I heard he might be back for the playoffs. So would feel better about Dickinson if he was playing. But I think that Dickinson Pearland second round matchup is going to be outstanding. But I think Dickinson is the team to advance here and get to the regional final against Ridgepoint. Okay. What about Pato and Jesuit, Straight Jesuit? Straight Jesuit looks great on paper, but they've been playing that suspect district all year long. I'll take Straight to get out of the first round, but I think the run ends after that. Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, let's move on to the bottom half of that district. Actually, we're moving on to 6A Division 2, B2, the Longview Regional, where we look at our bottom half. Again, if we start looking ahead, College Park Magnolia looks pretty sweet to me. It looks real tasty because, as we said many times I don't care too much for the 14 6A teams to get out of the first round. This is definitely one we don't feel like it's going to happen. Cy Lakes is probably having that feel of, thank God we finally made it to the playoffs. First time in school history. Congrats to Coach Tyrone Carter and Cy Lakes for getting to the playoffs. Your reward is a really good Magnolia team. Yeah, is that the kind of deal where you somehow have to hype them up during the weekend saying, just don't be happy to get in, let's do some noise here? Or sure, that's how you got. You can't, they got to celebrating in over the weekend. You got to, Monday you got to be ready to go. Yeah, because Magnolia is good enough to embarrass you, so they better be ready. Absolutely. I'll say this, Wizzy, College Park is my pick to get out, and I actually picked College Park to win the region. I think College Park is winning this region. I think they are the most complete team in the region. I'm with you. Camden Hughes at quarterback, Julian Cromartie at receiver. They got Duke Stevens at running back, a good offensive line, those two outstanding D tackles, Marco Beltran in the second. This is a complete football team. I think College Park is not only going to advance out of this regional, I think they're going to get to the state semifinals. Okay. Excellent. Yeah, I mean, like we said before, they're 1,000% healthy because they've had literally 4 weeks to
get healthy, get whatever they need done healthy. And you're not a big believer in Longview or DeSoto taking them down. DeSoto's proven to give up some points.
Just they're inconsistent. Longview lost a bunch of close games, but I worry about Longview because they don't run the football very well, which is weird to say about Longview, but they struggle running the football. DeSoto's consistency, when they're good, they're really good, but when they're bad, they can be bad. So I just don't think they're consistent enough. And there's a tie-in. If College Park plays DeSoto, College Park head coach Kyle Coates was DeSoto's defensive coordinator for their state championship team in 2023.
True. And knowing Clyde Masters, he'll try to get that game in San Alamo Dome, right? That's where he loves to play the game.
Coach Mathis likes to play indoors.
He does that. All right, let's move on to the lower half of that district, or that region. We see Tomball and Waller, which is going to be a sweet game over at Tomball. Mm-hmm. Power Trip will be out there. In regular years, I would love the Spring Westfield Willis matchup too. It still might be a little tight, but Spring Westfield just hasn't. They've shown great things in 14-6-8.
Their offense is just bad. They just can't score. And Willis has –
you got to score when you're playing Willis.
You got Jermaine Bishop, so I think Willis comfortably wins that. But I think Willis and Tomball, second round, it was a great game last year. Willis escaped. I think Tomball gets their revenge and gets out and takes on Forney. But I do like Forney to get out and into the regional final. I
do too. You're saying we're going to see playoff Tomball this year. It's definitely off and on every year. We don't know which.
Playoff. Tomball last year got to the second round, and then they gave Willis all they wanted. They just fell a little short.
Got you. Good. I mean, Waller's back in there with TK Gaines. Your thoughts on what kind of game that's going to be?
It's going to be. It's one of the better first round matchups in the state, but I lean to Tomball playoff experience at home.
Got you. All right. Region 3 in this 6A Division 2 Summer Creek bracket. They deserve to have that named after them. They'll have an easy one against Clear Springs. They'll have an easy one over the winner of Manville and Hightower. And then don't look too far ahead, but then they play a sweet Katy game. Boy, I love how we're just blown by all these teams and just picking the –
the margins are a little higher. Although Katy and Houston Memorial in the second round is a fun matchup just because of Brooks Hack, former Katy quarterback Brooks Hack, teacher versus a student going up against his head coach Gary Joseph. He's done a great job at Memorial this year. One of the Coach of the Year candidates, in my opinion. I think Summer Creek's going to cruise into the third round. I think Katy will give them a game, but I like Summer Creek here.
Yeah, I agree with that. Is that Manville Hightower give you anything, or is just Hightower's just so young they might not be able to go with Manville, or do you pick them to win?
I think Hightower can give them a game because they're super athletic and talented, but I think they're a year away. They're just very, very young.
All right, let's take a look at the other side, the CE King side. CE King's playing Clear Falls. Bush and Shadow Creek. You would hope Shadow Creek learned from last year and get serious about some things and wins that game. Katy Jordan against Foster and Stratford at Houston Heights. It kind of looks like CE King. Whoever wins CE King Shadow Creek, which I believe will be CE King, is just kind of coasting, right?
Agree. I think this is actually CE King got the 2 seed after Summer Creek beat North Shore, but actually CE King I think got the better draw here.
Yeah.
I think CE King's going to cruise into the third round. Shadow Creek will give them a game that'll be an entertaining game from a recruiting standpoint, but I like CE King to get out of this grouping here. If I wish Katy Jordan was healthy. If Katy Jordan was healthy, they'd be a fun team. They're just so banged up.
They're very banged up, and that's probably going to keep them from going too deep. Hopefully, they get through the first 2 for their case sake, but. 5A Division 1 Region 3, the Port Arthur Memorial Regional, and Port Arthur Memorial shouldn't have any trouble in their first round game. No. What do you think about Madison and Beaumont United? You think United takes them, or Madison gives them a game here?
I think Madison gives them a game, but I like United.
And how about Angleton and College Station with the beat up quarterback over there at Angleton? Doesn't matter.
I think College. This game is ripe for upset. College Station is playing really, really good football right now. They beat Pflugerville Weiss a couple of weeks ago. They've won 6 in a row, and Angleton's just really beat up. If Angleton was at full strength, I would pick Angleton to win the region. But the injuries have they've just been ravaged by injuries. So I think College Station may beat them in the first round, unfortunately.
Really? And then their ceiling is Port Arthur Memorial.
I think Port Arthur Memorial gets out. They've been consistent all year, and I think this is Port Arthur's side of the bracket to get to the regional final.
I feel bad for old Coach Britton down there, but that's what happens in the game. Well, we talked last year. Last week they had to win to get in. They're 1 and they're in, and they're playing Wall Trip. Frenchwood gets Austin Anderson. Westbury's not going to be very competitive with Lufkin. But you like the LaPorte-Weiss game.
This is one of the best first-round games in the state. That's a really good Weiss team. It's a tricky 4 seed. They actually beat Austin Anderson last week, and Austin Anderson was the 1 seed out of the district. So Weiss can play. They're a tough matchup because they're so good in the passing game. And LaPorte, if there is a weakness, I would say it's the secondary. But also, I think Weiss's weakness is stopping the run, and we know that's what LaPorte does really, really well. So,
although they have picked up the pass this year, they've done a lot of passing this year than they have in years past.
They're throwing it a little. They're more balanced this year, but they still. Sean Simon and Ashton Ruffin can go.
Yeah.
I think LaPorte is going to be the team to beat out of this side, but there's I think Lufkin in the second round could be a real challenge, and I think Austin Anderson in that third round game could be a lot of fun too. A rematch of last year's playoffs. So, but I like LaPorte to get out, so we get a LaPorte Port Arthur Memorial Regional Final.
Ooh, yeah. So they don't get any break in the first round. They're going right to business, which kind of
Port's
works.
Got a tough path. They got a tough path.
It kind of works for some teams though. All right, Division II, Region 2, South Oak Cliffs in this one, so that's going to scare Montgomery to death, even if they win. Yeah. And Huntsville has to make that long trip to Marshall.
I'm putting Montgomery on upset watch against
Okay.
Mount Pleasant's front 7 is elite. Don't look at their 4 and 6. If you look at Mount Pleasant's record at 4 and 6, you're like, this is not a good football team.
Right.
Their non-district opponents were like they lost to Crandall, Terrell, Lindale, and Sulphur Springs.
Oh wow. Yeah, they played some solid opponents.
Teams, I believe, let's see, Crandall's is 7-3, Terrell's 10-0, Lindale's 9-1, Sulphur Springs is 9-1. So I'm not a math major, Ward, but I believe that is 35-5. Those 14
like that. You are on a math major, that's for sure.
That's tremendous. And Mount Pleasant played a lot of them close. They lost to Lindale by a point. They lost to Crandall by 6. They played them close. Mount Pleasant's front 7 is elite. Montgomery loves to run the football. It's going to be a great matchup. Montgomery's offense against Mount Pleasant's defense. Okay. I'm picking Montgomery, but just
keep an eye.
It's not going to be a blowout. I think Huntsville's been very inconsistent. They're just not playing very. No. I've watched Huntsville on tape, and they don't seem to have the same level of physicality they had last year, and that concerns me, especially going on the road to East Texas to play Marshall.
They got to give you something to give them some sort of life here, right?
Yeah, they've struggled.
And for Terrell is an undefeated squad right now, so they're playing some ball as well.
10-0.
All right, let's go to Port Neches Grove, the P&G regional down here. We got P&G and Nacogdoches, but we got Lake Creek having to go up to Texas High. That's a bad task for anybody.
Yeah, tough. Good season for Lake Creek, but Texas High is going to probably handle them. I think we're going to get P&G Texas High again. They'll probably play in Louisiana somewhere, and I like P&G to beat them again. So I think we're going to get a P&G SOC rematch. Don't be surprised if they do play at that games in the greater Houston area this year.
Yeah, they struggled to find that game last year. Wasn't it like last second they went over to Prairie View?
Yes, they were trying to go to Prairie View, and the Prairie View wouldn't host them. I think they would like to go to Prairie View this year. So Prairie View.
Where were they last year again? I forget.
Stephen F. Austin.
That's right. Yeah. You never want to hear the Matt Stepp, you had a great season on Monday speech. That's not what you want to have on your bingo card there. But all right, Lake Creek, that's what you get.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Region 3 here, and we're talking Richmond Randall Regional. They're going to play a Thursday game with.
The AI messed up. A&M consolidated, and Crosby's not playing Randall and Ellison.
Uh-oh. What happened?
The AI messed up. Wizzy.
Who's in that one?
We
got AM. We got AI problems. God bless it. Allen Iverson screwed us again. Let's see now that we have a mess up here. Let's take a look. Oh, it's Jefferson and Pflugerville Connolly.
That's right. Yeah, Pflugerville Connolly and San Antonio Jefferson. Either way, Richmond Randall's going to cruise. By those, Richmond Randall's going to get to the third round easily.
Well, this whole thing is messed up because it got Angleton and College Station in there too that snuck in there, and that one's actually
it's a Bastrop, I think, and
Bastrop and Burbank. Yep.
Yeah, San Antonio Burbank. I think Waco University, Fort Bend Marshall got into the playoffs on the tiebreaker. They got the 4 seed. It's a tough road trip to Waco University. That's a really talented Waco University ball club. University.
It's a rematch of last year.
They whipped up on Brenham in this year, and so the University is much improved. I think Bastrop is a team to watch here. I think Bastrop gets out and plays Randall in the third round, but I like Randall to advance.
All right, well, let's get off this mistake-ridden freaking thing. Diggs, I'm coming for you. All right, let's take a look at the Iowa Colony. I haven't talked much about Iowa Colony over the last several weeks because they haven't played really much anybody.
Yeah, basically,
I'm hearing about Carson
Randall.
White might be hurt. Is that true?
If he's hurt, I'm worried about it. And I picked Iowa Colony to win the region. If he's hurt, I'm absolutely concerned about Iowa Colony. So I'll be interested. Hopefully, for their sake, he's back. They won't need him this week against Belton. And I don't think they'll need him against Pflugerville. But you get to the third round, I think Liberty Hill might be the team to get out. I think they'll need him against Liberty Hill.
How about Texas City against Brenham? Your thoughts there?
4 weeks ago, I would have taken Brenham in a blowout. I think Texas City's got a puncher's chance. Brenham's not playing very good right now. I think Texas City's got Brenham's the favorite, but I could see Texas City pulling the upset.
I got you. All right, let's dive into 4A real quick. We'll talk some Little Cypress Mauriceville against Kilgore, who's the defending state runner-up. Stafford's going to be playing Wheatley and North Forest and Navasota. Any hope for any of the Houston ISD teams here? Or are we going to do your Monday speech? Yeah, great season, boys.
Well, I mean, you'll get a Houston team out. I think Stafford's going to beat Wheatley. Yeah. So Stafford will get to the second round. Kilgore's going to roll. I expect Navasota to roll. Chapel Hill and Bridge City is going to be a good amount. I would lean to Chapel Hill, even though they're on the road at Bridge City.
All right, sweet.
But I like Kilgore to get out here.
No, I feel like this Yates-Needville game will be sweet over at Rhodes.
I like Yates. We got an HISD team out last year. I think we get an HISD team out again this year. Give me Houston Yates in what people outside of the Houston area may call an upset, but I don't think it's that big of an upset.
They've been playing some big-time football over there. I know they're playing against HISD teams, but they're locked in.
They're like Worthing was last year, I think, in a lot of ways.
By the way, that Navasota, they played Crawford last Saturday for the district title. They had a little mix-up on one of their plays. The quarterback was supposed to pitch it back to a running back to throw it for a halfback's option. He turned around and threw it back to the left guard. Left guard didn't want nothing to do with it. He just put his hands up and let the ball start rolling around, and Crawford took it in for 6. It's one of the more amusing plays of last week, but that's what happens. The running back took off for a wheel route or something. He said, all right, well, I'm throwing it back to the guard.
Misfire, yeah. I think here Yates gets out. I think Longview Pine Tree takes care of Lumberton. I love Fort Bend Crawford. They've been my sleeper all year. And then I think Lindale rolls past Huffman. Fort Bend Crawford and Lindale in the second round is going to be really good. Whoever wins Fort Bend Crawford Lindale gets to the regional final against Kilgore. I'll lean to Lindale barely, but I think it's going to be a great football game.
Yeah. That would be smooth, and neither one of them should have any problems with the winners of the top part of that deal.
No, I think they'll cruise into the fourth round, but Kilgore is the regional favorite once again.
That'll be a tough one to get by. All right, let's go to Region 4 because that's the Davenport district, but we have Bay City in there, and on the lower half we'll see El Campo. But you're look at Bay City and what kind of path they have to possibly get out of this region.
Well, because they had that crazy loss last week to Portland. If you didn't see it, there's some clips.
Yeah, tell me about that.
I think it was like an inadvertent whistle on a lateral play, and everybody stopped. And Calhoun, I haven't actually watched it yet, but I've seen a lot of talk about it. There's Portland Lavaca Calhoun won on some crazy play. But Bay City, they'll be favored in the first round with Tolosa Midway. Actually, Bay City's playing Saturday at 2:00 in Victoria in this game. So tough second round matchup against LBJ, though. I think San Antonio Davenport is the team to beat in this side. They're 10-0, won the region 2 years ago. I think they come back and win the region again this year.
All right. And then if you look down, we'll figure out what El Campo's path is here if they can try to get out. But they got Cal Allen right off the bat.
You get the Reeve Bowl. El Campo head coach Travis Reeve coaching against his brother Charlie Reeve, the head coach at Cal Allen. So you get the brother matchup there, but I think El Campo the run ends in the first round of the playoffs for them once again.
Poor Ricebirds. Who do you got coming out of this deal?
Laverne. Yeah, Laverne. We get a Laverne Davenport regional final. All San Antonio regional final.
All right, 4A Division 2. Let's talk some. We battled it out to get into the playoffs. Wharton's in there. West Columbia's in there. We'll see in the other one. Sweeney was the other team to make it, but Wharton starts off with West Orange Stark.
Yeah. I messed up here too. I don't think Madison Will's playing Stafford.
This is a disaster. How could this happen?
Robinson's playing Madisonville right now.
Okay.
I told you that's why you shouldn't use AI.
AI is going to ruin us all.
Yeah, it is. It is going to take my job.
If they keep making this mistake.
Sealy, I love Kane Killo. I think they're Sealy and West Columbia in the second round will be fun. Kane Killo against Dasi Abdallah, tremendous matchup there. I'll take Sealy. I think Sealy's gonna beat West Orange Stark in the third round. I think Sealy's gonna get out and get to the regional final as well.
I had Kane Killo. Okay, well they went far last year, right?
They went to the regional final a year ago, I believe. Also,
they run into that La Vega squad, who's.
I do think they'll run into La Vega, but hey, watch out for Belleville, man. They are rolling right now. Right? Belleville and La Vega, if they play in the third round and hide the women and children, that is going to be a physical rock fight. Those are two teams that will strike you. Lamarck and Hampshire Finette is a sneaky good first-round game. There's always a lot of blowouts in the first round. If you just want to see a really good football game, I believe they're playing in Pasadena Friday night. That's a great game to go to, Lamarck and Hampshire Finette.
That should be it. Lamarck has been playing great football.
Coach Wade Elephant's done a great job there this year.
Let's just take a little bit of look at 3A Division 1 Division 1 Region 3, and then we'll just talk frantically about the 2As if you wanted to. But let's talk about
some great
Hitchcock.
Sorry, the second round I think is great here. Right. I think Hitchcock is struggling. They lost to Yoakum last week.
Yeah, they did.
They might not get out of the first round, but if they do, I don't think they beat Hardin. No. Hardin is unbelievable. They are 10-0. Hardin has not punted all year. They have punted.
Wow.
They have punted 0 times.
Where's that school located?
Near Beaumont.
Near Beaumont?
Yeah, it's near Beaumont. Yeah, it's they've not punted at all this year. Yoakum is super athletic. Fairfield has a dynamic, explosive offense. I'm actually taking Hardin to get out of this side of the bracket here.
Who's their toughest competition this year for Hardin?
They're in the district with Orangefield and East Chambers.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm with you on that then. If they haven't punted, that's always a good sign.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing here. Unless it's like Klein, who never punts anyway. All right, we look at this other one, 3A, Division 1, Region 3. Columbus is starting to play some good ball. You just said East Chambers struggled against Hardin, but what about Franklin up there? Franklin's always been a bugaboo for some of our Houston teams.
Franklin's my pick to win the state championship. Their running game this year has broken a lot of our analytics charts this year. They're so efficient running the football. I mean, Franklin, they gave Salina a game. Like, they played Salina in non-district and gave Salina a really good game. This is an outstanding football team. I think we are going to get Franklin and Columbus in the regional semifinals. It's been a great rivalry. Franklin won a couple of years ago in a close game. The year they won state, Columbus got their revenge last year. I think Franklin gets the lick back and gets Columbus this year.
Interesting. All right. Well, we don't have brackets for this, and knowing AI, they would have been all mistakes anyway. But your thoughts on Tidehaven's run to a possible another state championship game like they did a couple of years ago? Your boy was playing great at quarterback last week when they took down – beat the crap out of East Bernard.
Cale Russell, 4-year starter.
And all those Gallivan guys.
How many do they have on that team? TJ and Boogie Galvan. You got a guy named Boogie on your team.
Boogie, and he's fast and shaky.
Tidehaven, I'm telling you, this is my pick. They are going to be at AT&T Stadium playing in the state championship. I think the Tigers get there. David Lucio is a heck of a coach.
He is a heck of a coach. Little guy, but a heck of a coach. That doesn't really matter how little he is. All right, where are you going to be, Stepp? I heard you say this somewhere. You got like 6 games this week, don't you?
I do have 6 games. I'll be my annual trip up to the Texas Panhandle on Thursday, Friday. I got 2 games on Thursday. Canadian taking on Muleshoe. Amarillo Paladuro playing El Paso Hanks on Thursday. Friday, I got Spearman taking on New Deal. And then Hale Center taking on Bovina. Small school action. Saturday, I'll be in Houston, a doubleheader. I'll be at Del Mar at 1 o'clock for Heights and Stratford. And then at 6 o'clock, I will be on the sidelines at Thorne for the Woodlands and Aldine Davis.
Emphasis on the sidelines.
Say hi to me. Wave at me.
You get to see the people out there. The people want to see you guys. They don't want to see tucked away.
Hopefully the rain holds off and doesn't rain on me.
That'd be nice. That would be nice. Then maybe this will flip it for you. You'll see how the people gravitate to you, and then you never want to be in the press box again. You just want to be down with the people. Think that'll happen?
No, I doubt
it. Dadgummit, Stepp. They want to know you.
Please say hi. If you see me and you recognize me,
say what's up to him. He'll say something back, perhaps. Otherwise,
I will.
if he's busy,
I'm
won't
a
say
nice,
nothing.
you know, I'm a nice guy. I'm a friendly guy.
Yeah, and say hi to him at every Buc-ee's you go to from here down to Houston because he'll
Right.
be at all of them.
That's right.
Using
Love
up the
Buc-ee's.
clean restrooms. All right,
Clean
buddy
bathrooms
boy.
are great.
I appreciate it. We'll see you next week. See who advanced. If there's any kind of big upsets, maybe there will be. Who knows? But we'll talk about it next week. All right, man.
See you, Wizzy.